It's over. The meme country's no longer at least going to be involved in this year's Eurovision Song Contest. And I say meme country because, let's face it, they have produced the biggest amount of memes you could imagine when it comes to the Eurovision Song Contest. 2010 being the prime example. I mean, all I have to do is just this. And you get what I mean. So, yes, there was also that, and there was also a couple of Zdub ones, especially Trenuletu, which I really, really love. And for some reason, that was a meme last year for this particular country. But due to certain... Well, I don't know how it's happened, but I'm going to give my old conspiracy theory hat going on in a moment. But apparently the official word is that a couple of artists for... I'm just going to say the country now. Moldova. I'm just going to put the country logo, if you like, over there. So, yes, unfortunately, poor Moldova won't be involved in the contest, which is a huge shame. Because even though there was one particular song that a lot of people were officially raving of from their national final, I'm just going to grab that again. That would be Semaphore, performed by Bacho and Carnival Brain. More on them in a minute. But that was the main bulky fan favourite, and I think dare I say bookies' favourite, winning the whole entire kit and caboodle once all of the finalists were announced. And I can understand why. It's a very nice artsy song, and I never thought I would say that for many artsy songs. I'm not really a connoisseur of artsy songs when it comes to the Eurovision Song Contest. I think most of them tend to sort of get forgotten in the background, but lately we've had quite a lot of artsy songs that have done really, really well, especially with the jurors giving them a lot of sort of attention and a laugh that, let's face it, I think some of them do deserve. I wasn't so keen on Portugal, for example, last year, but to a certain degree, it was kind of artsy, and the jurors certainly gave it the love that it deserved. I mean, for crying out loud, the UK jury gave it 12 points, so what do I know? So there is that, but Moldova, unfortunately, has buggered off out of the contest, because, truth be told, I don't know. Other than the fact that, well, they cited financial reasons for, well, I mean, you can understand why. The budget for... while the budget for the Eurovision Song Contest isn't necessarily astronomical, it might be astronomical to a public broadcaster, because the key difference between private and public broadcasters is that private ones can get their money from almost an end of supply from commercials, from different companies applying commercials onto them. I mean, for crying out loud, look at the United States of America. They apply commercials on every 5 bloody seconds. You're literally just sort of watching a normal drama or comedy or everyday program for literally barely a minute, and then all of a sudden they ply you with 10 minutes of adverts in between. It is ridiculous in America. But with public broadcasters, well, while some do have adverts, most of them do not. I say most of them. No, most of them do have adverts. It's just the BBC don't, because we decided to ply loads of what do you call it? It's called the television license over here, but we ply loads and loads of chunk of bills onto TV licenses for all sorts of different people around here, just to make sure they can have the bloody C. Although some people are trying to cancel them for reasons. But this... I don't know what to say anymore, especially when you're given the fact that, for whatever reason, the head of the delegation from Moldova decided to say this. They cited not just a lack of finance, but also citing the poor quality of the national selection songs and performances. Like, what kind of excuse is that? I don't even know anymore. Like, oh, obviously, this is another meme in itself. This has to be said with from the same band who did. And all the rest of it. That one was. Etc. That was that one. But yeah, here's the main bulk of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Let me zoom in a bit more. There you go. The decision was not an easy one, but necessary in the current context. Which I've forgotten his name. The head of delegation called I'm trying to see now. Okay, Cornelia Danescu, along with Daniela Cudi, They basically said, this year's national selection highlighted certain challenges, including a decrease in public interest and the overall quality of the songs and artistic performances. This has generated a negative perception among specialists and the public, underlining the need for substantial reform within the selection process. I'm going to blatantly backtrack that on you and shove it back to you like a big whacking tennis ball, 40 freaking love, to say, you're a mean country. You're going to have songs that are going to be, let's face it, meh, or perhaps at worst, are downright ridiculously stupid and maybe a little bit crap. I will admit that. But a lot of people slept on 2022 for crying out loud with Trenuletto. And look what happened there. Minus Ukraine, it would have topped the televote. So, sod off. That's all I'm going to say. We consulted a specialist in the music field, and most of them expressed serious reservations regarding Moldova's participation this year, in exact agreement with the opinion of the jury, the TRM selected for this edition. I'm going to wear a particular hat of mine in regards to that in a moment. We respect the opinions of professionals and the general public, and we understand we must make responsible decisions. Public broadcast remains at the disposal of anyone to provide necessary information. Slight bit of good news, Moldova will still broadcast the semi-finals and grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest regardless of the participation. But by the way, it's not all over when it comes to that particular thing, because this guy, the current fan favourite, Bacho, have revealed that, or they claimed at the very least, that they've received the necessary financial sponsor backing to participate for Moldova for the 2025 Eurovision Song Contest. I mean, it's not over yet, that's all I'm going to say. But now I'm going to wear a particular hat whereby, whilst comical at first, you'll understand why. Introducing the conspiracy theory cap. I tip my cap off to you in regards to that. Now, I'm wearing this because it's actually quite itchy, I must admit. But I'm wearing this because I have a little thing about the whole entire thing. I reckon, personally, and of course this is my opinion about the whole thing, hence why I'm wearing this damn thing. I reckon, personally, that the Moldovan broadcaster, because the jury's, whether accidentally or I don't know, whatever, but because the jury was put through Sasha Bogdanov, who is, of course, meme central at this point. If you don't know who Sasha Bogdanov is, Google him. It's a good laugh. But because he got put through to the national final, I reckon the organisers themselves were kind of a little bit scared into thinking that somehow, some way, given the way the public can be sometimes, that they would put him through as the Eurovision Song Contest entrant. And I say that because my mum really, really likes that song, which is All Night Party, that he tried to represent Moldova with. That somehow got through to the national final 12. And I reckon they really, really, really feared that he could be the one chosen by the public. Now, I'm sure the broadcasters or the organisers probably have no say in regards to the jurors, but I reckon something must have given way in regards to thinking to themselves, hang on a minute, could we really be represented by someone who, let's face it, doesn't have the best of relationships when it comes to those criticising him? Again, I'm not criticising him or anybody else in particular, I'm just saying, I will officially say I'm not criticising him, but unofficially, I think it is probably that's just my opinion about the whole thing. Surely you come. All I'm going to say is that the excuse they came up with, you should have come up with a better one. Saying that all the songs are rubbish is basically saying you're rubbish, which you're bloody not. You're Moldova. You bring us memes virtually every year. Pathetic excuse if you ask me, but oh well. At the moment we're down to 37 countries, but watch this space.